Folks, he's bringing out the blackboard. You know shit's about to get real. Running from the cops in a Crown Victoria. I can't believe I'm making this video. 2 words. Common sense. Common sense tells you this ain't a Lambo. Common sense tells us this ain't a Ferrari. It's not a cat. It's not a scat. Shit. It ain't even a Hemi. Now, for the majority of people, that would have been more than enough to stay out of trouble. And, you know, like a lot of people say, just kind of stay in your lane. You know what you got under the hood. You know what you can and what you can't do. You got to know your limits. But as you guys are going to see, there's some people that just don't, I don't know, man. They got a little bit too much faith in the old Vic. Now, I literally got this tattooed on me. There isn't somebody who breathes and lives these cars harder than me, and I'll tell you that. But even I have the common sense to know my limits. Now, I have a lot of experience with stock Panther cars and pushing them pretty hard. Now, I'm not a race car driver. I'm not a spec driver by any means or anything like that. I'm just a regular dude with some regular Vics who has found himself in some situations where these cars have been pushed to their limits. So when it comes to what these cars are capable of, and I'm talking about in stock form, and we're going to talk about even some highly modified versions of these Panther cars, I know what their limits are and I know what they're capable of doing. So in the spirit of protecting these cars, you guys know that is my main goal. That is my main purpose, is to try to protect these cars, preserve them, and not only that, keep you guys safe, keep you guys from getting into trouble that you should kind of have the common sense not to try to do. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but this is a PSA as to why you should not run from the cops. Now, in the spirit of science, we're going to use a control, okay? What that means is we're going to have a car that has been proving to outrun a lot of cops successfully with just some minor modifications. And of course, I'm talking about the undefeated Charger. Okay, if you don't know what the undefeated Charger is, just look it up on YouTube. It's all over social media. Essentially, it's the last model of the Charger, the one that came out in 2015. That model all the way up until the most current form. And it's just an RT Charger with what appears to be a pretty aggressive tune. Now, that car is pushing right around, let's give it a conservative number, maybe 380 horsepower, you know, 390, like I said, with a real aggressive tune and maybe some other piggyback modifications done to it. Now, there's videos of that Charger just completely leaving these highway patrol units in the dust. Now, that Charger has 2 things, okay? And you need to keep this in mind for the entirety of this video. The driver of that Charger has 2 things. The first thing is he has his skill, and the second thing is he has a car that is faster, stock for stock, than the average patrol car that's out there in the streets today. To take things a bit further, let's take a look at exactly what type of patrol cars you'll be facing on any given Sunday when out in the wild. First, we'll start with the FPIU. 2015 to 2022 Ford Explorer Police Interceptor. Ranges from 300 horsepower at the lowest to over 400 with the EcoBoost version. Oh, and did I mention? It's all-wheel drive. Next up is the Ford Taurus Police Interceptor. Literally identical to the Explorer. Same platform, same engine variants, and all-wheel drive. But also has a higher top speed than the Explorer. And now those are your city units. Let's talk about the Highway Patrol. Let's start things off with the Dodge Durango Pursuit. 5.7 liter Hemi powered V8, pushing between 360 to 370 horses, and it comes in rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive variants. And of course, we can't leave out the Dodge Charger Pursuit. It has literally embodied the spirit of the Crown Vic, being the last V8 rear-wheel drive sedan still in the police force use today. 370 horses, Hemi powered. The old ones came rear wheel drive. The new ones come standard all wheel drive. Yes, all wheel drive Hemi powered Pursuit Chargers. Yes, they are a thing. And yes, they are ruthless. Hey guys, before I go any further, I want to make something clear. I'm not bashing these cars. You guys know I'm obsessed with the Panther platform. It's literally, I feel like this should be the only car on the road today. But what I'm trying to give you guys, not you guys, not a lot of you guys, the very small percentage of you guys, some type of reality check. Guys, that new Honda Odyssey that's driving out on the streets is faster than these cars, pound for pound. There's dualies out there transporting cars that are literally faster than this in a straight line. You are not gonna get away from these modern police cars in an old stock Panther platform car. It is not gonna happen. Not stock for stock. We're gonna get a little bit more into depth as to what I'm talking about, and we're gonna maybe discuss some of the cars that might actually fall under that maybe category. But across the board, for the most part, 99.999% of every stock Panther car out there cannot outrun even the most baseline city patrol car, period. All right, so right off the bat, we're going to start with a base model P71 Crown Victoria. Now, we're not even going to cover the civilian model. We're going to give it a little bit of a chance, okay? Now, I'm going to show you guys a clip of somebody who actually decided to run from the cops in a lifted bone stock Crown Vic. He has some big, nice wheels, and for whatever reason, you never know what somebody's going through, what their reason for running from the cops is. But being behind the wheel of a bone stock Crown Vic on like 26s was definitely the first mistake. I want you guys to check out this clip. Roll the clip, man. Roll the clip. Let you guys take a look for yourself, and just, I mean, the footage speaks for itself.
Adam 40 Little Rock 1024. 630 west on the Woodrow exit with a brown Ford Crown Vic. Street takeover.
So as you guys saw, it was completely a useless effort. I mean, it's kind of embarrassing. You know, it makes these cars look worse than they already do. We know we're not getting away, man. That's embarrassing. That cop could have been behind the wheel. Like I said, a freaking, I keep using the Honda Odyssey because it's a damn good minivan. I'm not gonna, if we're being honest. But that cop could have been behind the wheel of a Prius. It could have been behind the wheel of a Prius. It would have kept up toe-to-toe with that Crown Vic. That's kind of embarrassing. So, the first one on our list, can a stock Crown Victoria P71, better ECU tuning, heavy duty suspension components, transmission is slightly tuned better than the civilian for better, quicker shifts. Can a stock Crown Victoria P71 outrun even the lowliest of city units? The answer is no, which in turn means that the LX Sport version still can outrun the most basic police patrol car. Now, a lot of you guys are going to say, well, maybe a Grand Marquis for whatever reason, you know, maybe they're tuned a little bit different. Maybe, you know, they're modded out a little bit. Maybe they come slightly different from factory or something like that, right? Let's say you think that a Grand Marquis, your Grand Marquis could outrun the cops. Well, it just so happens that I have a video of that as well. So I want you guys to see for yourself, see how that ends up, and then we'll come back to the blackboard. you guys are back already. So I was just riding out the Grand Marquis here, and by default, that means that it's more luxurious, even slightly heavier counterpart. The town car cannot outrun your local city, even especially highway patrol, law enforcement. All right, now we're gonna get a little bit more specialized. We're gonna specialize the video a little bit. We're gonna get into some of the modded Crown Vics. I've been around a lot of fast Crown Vics, and I mean highly modified Panther cars. Oh, hey, Mr. Random, dude, you're forgetting the Marauder. The Marauder's a Panther car. You know what? Let's draw a line here because we're about to get to the modified Panthers. We're about to get to the above average type of Panther cars, and see maybe if they might actually stand a chance against the lowliest of cop cars. So we're gonna draw a line right here to separate, make the distinction, and we're gonna start with the Marauder. And the Mercury Marauder outrun the bare bones 305 horsepowered Explorer, maybe even a V6 Charger or a V6 Durango all-wheel drive? The answer to that is actually surprising. No, it can't. I don't think you guys understand just how fast these new cop cars are. This is my 2004 LX Sport with a 2004 Mustang Mach 1 swapped engine. This thing is fully equipped. We got long tube headers, gears, race tune, custom made intake, ported, polished all the way around. And even this thing on its best day can now outrun or outhandle the latest all-wheel drive patrol cars that are out there. And now is when we start getting to the crazy categories. For the following cars, if you're the type of person that has put that much money into your Panther car, I highly doubt you're still even going to test it out. I highly doubt you're going to want your baby, your $20,000 plus Panther car, to be in a pursuit, obviously, unless it's stolen or something like that. But let's talk about a supercharged Panther car. The answer to that, folks, is maybe. Now we're going to take it up another notch. Let's talk about LS swapped or Coyote swapped Panther cars. The answer to that is actually yes, but if you put that much work and that much trouble into swapping your Panther car, I highly doubt you're going to want to risk it getting totaled out and confiscated by the local law enforcement. Now this last group, I'm going to name it just freak shows. You know, this is freak of natures, and this is the group of people who could potentially, but here's the thing, here's the catch. Panther car still needs to have some type of suspension or engine modification to at the very minimum. Now there's only a select group of drivers that would fall into this that I feel like with suspension mods or maybe even some engine mods, they might be able to pull off a maybe. Right now there's only a few people that come to mind. The first is just any kind of spec P71 or spec Panther driver. These guys are taking their cars out every weekend, every week, and racing the hell out of these things, pushing these cars to their limits. Most of them bone stock, and these guys are running on pure skill alone. Again, real skill drivers. These guys have respect. They kind of know their limits. They know their limits of these cars more than most of us. I'm going to put these guys down on the maybe list. And there's only two people that I can think of that can actually, two individuals, not a group of people, that might actually pull off a maybe with their specific cars that they have now. They happen to have ridiculously modified Panther cars specifically for handling around tight corners. These cars might be able to get away in city driving. They still don't stand a chance on the highway. So in city driving, these two guys right here, I'd say they have a maybe. And that, folks, would be the Hoonmerk. Back here we have a car that it's far away, but this is a car that's probably one of the most recognizable cars out here. Or the Carolina Interceptor. All right, guys, and next up we have the Carolina Interceptor. Out of all the Panther cars out here, this is easily one of, if not the top dog in my opinion, and I'm just gonna say it. But Both of these guys get a maybe only if they're driving their particular Panther cars that they have built and if they happen to be in a city setting. So I hope this is kind of a bit of an awakening for a lot of young up-and-coming Panther car owners. If you have any of these cars right here, hell, even some of these, don't even bother. Take care of your Panther cars, take them out on the track, do it the legal way. You know what? These things are good for doing burnouts. You can do some sliding maybe if you're out of the way, but getting away from the cops, unless you're one of these guys right here, or unless you're driving this right here, highly modified Panther cars, then you might stand a chance. Everybody else, myself included, stay in your lane, folks. Enjoy your Panther cars, cruise them out, enjoy them, taking them car shows, show them off. Be an ambassador for these cars. Let's not destroy them. Let's not embarrass them. Let's not humiliate our platform anymore. Let's show it some respect, and let's show the world what these cars are capable of doing the right way.